Let's do it.
Have a good show, everybody. Here we go.
This is a safe place to talk about hard things.
Stand by, Dr. Phil.
I try to be an emotional compass and point you in the right direction.
In 5, 4.
I am not giving up on you.
Go, Dr. Phil.
We all had our fair share of friendship feuds, but sometimes they can get a little out of control. I'm Dr. Phil. This week we have quite the interesting story. What we have is a Cold War on our hands. After the end of World War II, Germany was split down the middle. U.S., Britain, France. Soviet Unions had the other half to themselves. Eventually, the half split between three went to complete U.S. control. And Berlin, the capital, was split between U.S. and Soviet Union. What we have is a nation divided. Democracy versus communism. Today we have our guests, Harry S. Truman, United States President, Winston Churchill, Britain Prime Minister, and a special secret, Joseph Stalin, leader of the Soviet Union. Let's welcome out our guests. Yeah! Yeah! Woo! Woo! Truman, Churchill, thank you for coming today. The Soviet Union is accusing you of being the cause for the Cold War. What are your thoughts on this?
My thoughts are that it's just the total opposite of that. We're just trying to defend ourselves, and they make it seem like we're just these bad guys. We're just upping our military, and we have to. We're on the brink of a nuclear war. We must protect ourselves.
Interesting. Churchill, who are you siding with?
We're siding with America. We're against the Soviet Union. And so we've decided to be with America.
Truman, if the Soviet Union is the cause for the Cold War, which is what you're saying, correct?
Yes.
Why do you think they're trying to pin it on you?
I think they're trying to pin it on us because they think we're being violent towards them because we're upping our military. They think we're trying to start a war when that's totally not what we want at this point. We're not trying to attack them. We're just trying to defend ourselves. We just came out of a world war. We're very on edge. We're just trying to defend ourselves. That's it.
Interesting. So, either of you can answer this question, but what specific moment do you remember thinking to yourself, those Soviet Union guys are bad news?
Well, in August 1953, they started coming up with huge nuclear bombs, like bigger than ours, bigger than Little Boy, dropped on Hiroshima. And I just decided to side with the US because it's just bad news.
So, if Joseph Stalin, say, were to walk out right now, what would your two reactions be?
Oh! No,
I
I would
so angry.
not.
Well,
I'm just
we gotta take a break, but when we get back, we'll have a
Get me fired
special
up.
guest. We'll be back in a minute. And we're back. Before we left for the break, I asked you two about your feelings over Joseph Stalin. How would you feel if he were to walk out right now?
Are you kidding me?
I'm glad you agree. We have Joseph Stalin in the back. He's been watching this whole time. Let's bring him out. Let's bring him out.
Hello.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Have a seat. Mr. Stalin. These two men are accusing the Soviet Union of causing the Cold War. How are you going to respond to this?
Nonsense. They bully our country and take our land. And it's just absurd.
Stalin, you're making some pretty big statements here. Do you have any evidence to back yourself up?
I was informed by Ambassador Novikov in a telegram that the USA is trying to dominate the world.
That's not true at all. We're just trying to defend ourselves. You're no saint. Your country is literally on the brink of destruction. Tensions are rising with your people.
We have order.
You do not have order. No, you do
Order!
not. that's what order looks like.
We are controlled, not like you people.
According to the Kinnan Telegraph, you're not. You're not. You don't have order at all. With all the violent acts and the just no order and just you're just a big mess.
We're doing what is best for the USSR.
We just have defenses. We're not trying to fight you guys.
Man, I can feel the tensions rising in the room. And I think we just all need to... Okay, let's get back to business. Interesting comments are being made from both sides.
Uncultured shit!
No.
Snap your finger!
Let's keep it civilized in here, please. Let's talk about Egypt for a bit. We've been hearing a lot of gossip about what's going on over there. Churchill, do you care to elaborate?
Yes, well, the US and I decided to help Egypt build the Suez Canal, and then they decided that they were going to strengthen their ties with the Soviets. So we withdrew financially, and then they decided to take it over completely, which made us very mad. Then Egypt decided to start doing terrorist attacks in Israel, so then me, Israel, and France were going to attack Egypt, but then the Soviets threatened to nuke us.
And you just can't do that. You don't just pull out a nuclear weapon when you get angry.
Hypocrite! Hypocrite!
I think we've established here that the Soviet Union is to blame for the Cold War. I apologize, Stalin, but that's...
Ah!
What I think needs to happen here. Y'all need to sit down and talk about how you feel about each other and how this is going to be sorted out, or else we're going to be in all sorts of a big, hairy mess. So for the good of the country and the world, this problem has been solved. We'll see you back next week on Dr. Phil. Thank you very much.
And thank you, Oprah.
Had our fair share of friendship foods, but sometimes... And we're back. Well, before we left for the break, I asked you two about your feelings for Joseph Stalin. So, Truman, if the Soviet Union is the cause for the Cold War, which is what you're saying, why do you think that?
I feel like they think we're trying to be violent towards them. No, we're not. We're just...
Now, Stalin, you're making some pretty big statements here. Do you have any evidence to back yourself up?
I was informed by the ambassador Novikov in a telegram that the USA is trying to dominate.
Keep going.
God, guys, come. We need something.
Okay.
Every gain divine. And you know when I was in school, we used to sing it something like this. Listen here.